pregnant people can continue work with modified conditions until the beginning of their labor, but this isn't always easy. An Amazon employee shared how horrific her workplace conditions were when she was pregnant. Her experience left her in tears every day, but one day she found blood and dashed to the washroom stall. Was her workplace ignorant? How could this happen? Let's find out. When we need our favorite items fast, many of us turn to Amazon. To help us get our items quickly, Amazon employs over 1 million people and has over 175 fulfillment centers around the globe. 23-year-old Patty Hernandez was one of those employees. She was a worker at one of the fulfillment centers in Tracy, California. In October 2020, Patty was 7 weeks pregnant when she brought a doctor's note into her work requesting accommodations. Her doctor recommended she avoid any kind of heavy lifting, pushing, or pulling. As an Amazon employee, her job involves lifting heavy items like bins full of energy drinks, shampoo, or dog food off conveyor belts on 10-hour shifts. These bins can reach up to 50 pounds. Amazon's Human Resources Department allegedly denied Patty's request. HR just told me there was no specific area for light work that wouldn't require over 15 pounds of lifting or for me to be off my feet. After being denied the lighter duty, Patty's manager allegedly kept asking her why she was sitting more and taking longer breaks, even though he knew she was pregnant. Patty claimed her manager wasn't accommodating. He was on me asking, "Why is your rate so low? Why are you spending so much time in the bathroom? Why is your time off task more than 10 minutes?" We were only allowed 10 minutes of time off task each day, but the warehouse is so big, it takes 6 minutes just to get to the bathroom and back. Time off task is a metric Amazon uses to measure productivity and to discipline their workers. It tracks how often an employee scans packages and how long they take in between. One day, while she was working, Patty felt the sudden need to use the washroom. She raced to the washroom, and after checking her pants, she suspected she may have lost her pregnancy. After she learned she was having a medical emergency, she told her manager and went home. She asked her employer for medical leave, but claimed her request was denied as she was told she hadn't worked enough hours. The letter allegedly said, "You are not eligible for leave under the Federal Family and Medical Leave Act because you have not worked 1,250 hours in the previous 12 months. You've worked approximately 841.57 hours. Patty did not return to work for the rest of the week because she continued to have health problems related to her pregnancy. After a week had passed, she went to the doctor's office and a nurse confirmed Patty was no longer pregnant. Patty was devastated. "I went to the doctor and they couldn't detect a heartbeat. It all took a very emotional toll on me. I never imagined this would happen to me. I would cry every day." After Amazon didn't respond to 2 pending requests for California pregnancy disability and a medical leave of absence, Patty resigned because she knew she had no time off left. Rena Lunak, an Amazon spokesperson, said the company is looking into the situation. "We partner with each Amazon employee on an individual basis to ensure they have what they need to stay healthy. We gladly offer support and medical accommodations to thousands of employees across our operations daily." Patty had started working for Amazon in April 2020, a few weeks into the pandemic, after her family's Mexican restaurant and taco trucks were forced to close. Amazon was hiring quickly and had a good reputation in her community. Patty said, "I was mostly aware of the positives. I had 2 cousins working there. They said it's so fun. You work 4 days a week. They made it sound like the place to work. In my perspective, I feel like they don't care about you no matter what you're going through." Working in a facility like an Amazon fulfillment center may not be ideal for pregnant people. According to the Center for Disease Control, heavy lifting, standing for long periods of time, or bending a lot during pregnancy could increase your chances of miscarriage, preterm birth, or injury during pregnancy. As well, Amazon has a well-documented track record of delaying or denying disability accommodations and has a notoriously high turnover rate of roughly 150%. Between 2011 and 2019, at least 7 pregnancy discrimination lawsuits were filed against Amazon. The workers claimed the company failed to accommodate requests, such as more bathroom breaks and fewer hours standing, and then fired them. In all of the cases, the expectant parents were fired after telling their managers they were pregnant. Beverly Rosales, who filed her suit in January 2019 and was due in June 2019, believes Amazon cares more about numbers than people. Amazon wants to push out as much product as possible. They need as many people that don't need accommodations to work there. They care more about the numbers than their employees. Rebecca Collins-Given, an associate professor at the Rutgers School of Management and Labor Relations who had been researching the changing nature of work for the last 20 years, agreed with Beverly. The system is designed to not accommodate anything that diminishes your productivity, whether that's pregnancy or anything else. An Amazon spokesperson told BBC News, "It is absolutely not true that Amazon would fire any employee for being pregnant. We are an equal opportunity employer. We work with our employees to accommodate their medical needs, including pregnancy-related needs. We also support new parents by offering various maternity and parental leave benefits." In 2019, Amazon workers wrote a letter to CEO Jeff Bezos informing him pregnant workers had received final warnings due to their time-off task. However, Amazon denied monitoring the length of bathroom breaks. According to an Amazon spokesperson, Amazon accommodates work restrictions for pregnant employees within our fulfillment centers. Typically, these accommodations vary, including based on the employee's particular needs. In 2011, Kathleen Stewart, an Amazon employee from Pennsylvania, told her bosses she was pregnant and would need accommodations, providing a doctor's note. According to court documents, after she was reassigned to another department, a human resources manager made an offhand comment to her, saying they'd like to go to the bathroom a lot too. According to Kathleen's lawsuit, which settled out of court, after returning late from a bathroom break during a meeting, another Amazon manager tried to tell her that her pregnancy wasn't an excuse for being late. In 2020, Vice reported that Amazon failed to accommodate 4 pregnant workers at a warehouse in Oklahoma City, forcing them to risk losing their pregnancies and face homelessness and eviction. One of these employees was Michelle Posey, who worked as a stower, scanning and lifting heavy packages while on her feet for the entirety of the 10-hour shifts. Michelle has epilepsy, which left her at high risk of losing her pregnancy and premature labor. She took a leave of absence in March 2019. Amazon called her back to work in June. So her doctor wrote her a modified duty letter explaining she should not lift, pull, or push packages weighing more than 15 pounds. On June 11th, Amazon denied her request, claiming her site could not accommodate her as there were no available positions that met her requirements because of social distancing. When Michelle returned to work, she claimed she was threatened. One supervisor threatened me, saying, "If you can't do your job, why don't you leave?" There were 3 other people who had similar situations to Michelle. They said Amazon didn't accommodate them and put them at risk of losing their pregnancies and other pregnancy-related complications. The workers described a lack of clear communication between the internal human resources team and Amazon's Employee Resource Center, which handles HR complaints around the world. They claimed it took days for case managers to return calls, or they failed to return calls altogether. In some cases, they claimed Amazon refused to follow restrictions once the employees were moved to new departments. Leah Say, an Amazon spokesperson, said the company's accommodation process can take up to 7 days, but once they are in place, the facilities honor the accommodations. Leah further explained, "We partner with each associate on an individual basis to accommodate their needs. We take this matter seriously, and it's important to us that our associates feel safe and supported. If we find any occurrence where this has not been the case, then we will make it right." Under federal law, it can be considered legal for companies to deny pregnant workers lighter duties. The Pregnancy Discrimination Act of 1978 says an employer only has to accommodate pregnant employees if they're also accommodating other employees with similar inabilities. California is one state that has stronger pregnancy accommodation laws. California law requires that employers with at least 5 employees must provide reasonable accommodations for pregnant employees unless they can prove it provides hardship to their operation. Jennifer Carlin, a professor at the University of California Davis Medical Center who specializes in reproductive health, says it's impossible to know if working at Amazon caused Patty to lose her pregnancy. However, according to medical literature, persistent occupational stress and night shifts increase the risk of losing a pregnancy, and Patty often worked night shifts for extra income. Dr. Carlin said, "While this does not prove causality, it is reasonable to offer ways to decrease stress for individuals who are pregnant rather than create more stress in their lives in order to provide the best possibility for a healthy pregnancy." This worker was put between a rock and a hard place. Either you don't get paid so you can't feed yourself and your family, or you come to work and put your pregnancy at risk. According to a 2013 study in the American Journal of Epidemiology, 10 to 15% of pregnancies end in a loss. A majority of losses occur within the first trimester. Amazon isn't the only company to face accusations of mistreatment of pregnant employees. Major companies like Walmart and AT&T have also been accused of discrimination. In May 2018, two AT&T former employees sued the company, alleging they were fired after missing work due to pregnancy-related medical care. The same month, the GMB union, who organized protests for Amazon warehouse workers in the UK, claimed they found in a survey that one pregnant woman was forced to stand for the entirety of her 10-hour shifts. In September 2018, the EEOC sued Walmart over pregnancy discrimination, claiming Walmart refused to accommodate pregnant employees. The Federal Pregnancy Discrimination Act says the Pregnancy Discrimination Act, PDA, is an amendment to Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Discrimination on the basis of pregnancy, childbirth, or related medical conditions constitutes unlawful sex discrimination under Title VII. Women affected by pregnancy or related conditions must be treated in the same manner as other applicants or employees who are similar in their ability or inability to work. However, in 2018, the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, registered 2,790 pregnancy discrimination claims, and since 2010 has averaged around 3,520 charges a year. The Pregnancy Discrimination Act was put in place in 1978 to prevent discrimination against pregnant people, but pregnancy laws vary by state. California, where Patty lives, has had pregnancy accommodation laws in place since 1999. As time has gone on, more people have entered the workforce and more people are working while also pregnant, meaning more obstacles are being discovered that the act doesn't cover. In August 2014, Governor Pat Quinn of Illinois signed the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act and said women should not have to choose between being a mother and having a job. This act required employers in Illinois to provide longer bathroom breaks, rest periods, light duty, job transfers, leave time, or other accommodations if requested by the pregnant person, as long as it doesn't cause excessive hardship to the company. By 2015, 11 other states had passed laws requiring employers to provide reasonable accommodations to pregnant workers. Under the act, it's illegal to fire a pregnant person because they are pregnant. However, this only applies to companies with more than 15 employees and isn't clear to what extent the employers have to accommodate. Pregnancy is not considered a disability. However, the Federal Americans with Disabilities Act does protect pregnancy-related accommodations, such as difficulty bending or lifting heavy objects. Gender equality advocates believe pregnant people are being pushed out of the workforce because of how little the courts are ruling to accommodate them. Pregnancy accommodation laws are especially important for blue-collar or low-wage workers who need simple accommodations like a stool to sit on, longer bathroom breaks, or lighter duty. According to a 2013 survey by Childbirth Connection, pregnancy requests made by 250,000 pregnant people are denied each year. Of the people surveyed, more than half said they didn't request accommodation due to fear of retaliation. Jacqueline Berrien, the chairwoman of the EEOC, released a statement in 2014. Despite much progress, we continue to see a significant number of charges alleging pregnancy discrimination, and our investigations have revealed the persistence of overt pregnancy discrimination, as well as the emergence of more subtle discriminatory practices. Lori Chaden, director of the Reproductive Rights Project, said the goal is to educate employers, not take them to court. It's important for employers to listen to what pregnant people need for their accommodations. The law says the employer can't impose an accommodation a woman doesn't want. They can't say you need to go home. When it comes to making accommodations for workers, it's important for employers to focus on being equitable. Being equitable helps companies realize that while equality is important, not every person needs the same kind of accommodation. Have you ever encountered workplace discrimination? What do you think about this story? Let me know in the comments below.